All right. So this is the final iteration of replacing everything in spawn zone or rebuilding spawn. Everything that's a lighter green color down there, you can see the difference on the left with the swamp dirt and the grasslands dirt. The grasslands dirt is actual, like, novice grasslands. That's the spawn point. So what I did was I went through and I fixed all the holes in the ground. I filled it with stone, and then I covered it up with dirt, and then I covered it up with grass, which grass blocks take a little bit more to make, with mainly dirt and thatch. But I wanted to give it more of the, hey, I live here kind of thing. And, you know, this is what I wanted to see as I joined into the world. It looks, just from this alone, leagues better than it did before. And I'll give you an aerial view of it so you can have a better idea of how much work actually went into this. So, over here on the left, this way anyways, I went ahead and fixed up quite a bit of the swamp area right here, mainly because it ties in so closely to the grasslands. I figured why not give it a little bit of extra oomph. I fixed it up, covered up a lot of holes. I actually created, if I can get a good enough view here for you guys. Sorry, let me zoom out a little bit here. This mountaintop, or hilltop, I actually created that. So, it was all just, most of this area was pretty damaged when I first got into the world. And I just wanted to take it over and, you know, maybe not take it over, sorry, poor choice of words there, but I wanted to rebuild it, like I said, because it looked terrible. So now, I built a hill. And it took care of a little swampy area, added some stuff to it, and gave it some flavor. Right underneath, right here, was a massive gaping hole in the ground that had a base in it. And I went ahead and destroyed everything that was in there and filled in most of the holes with stone and then covered it in dirt. So now, if anybody wanted to, they could actually rebuild and put stuff there. I didn't go through and do this area over here because, frankly, I don't care. I should do it at some point just to make it look a little prettier, but I don't care at this moment. So moving on, as we go through, we have over here just a gaping hole in the ground. This area right here, I didn't really do anything with because I didn't see a need to. This leads down into the cave system that's down below. This cave system was already here, so I don't see a need to cover it up. Considering you can, you know, go in and fly through. You can see some old structures that might have been in here that I missed. Some platforms that people made because it looked kind of cool. And just some old evidence of bases that were left behind. I cleaned up everything that was a base, but I left the naturalness down here as well as I could. I didn't do much, but I filled in some of the holes. So as we go around here, you can see that this area filled in. I did what I could to make it look more natural. I actually just touched up that area over there, far above my Zeppelin, anyways, or my airship. I touched it up to make it look a little bit more natural, like the World Gen actually cared. And most of this over here isn't too dissimilar from what you would see on a fresh spawn. Or a fresh world, sorry. But, yeah. I left that alone over there because, again, it's swampland. It's not novice grassland. It's just, you know, that. I may fix it, but it's not high on the priority list. Over there as well. I did fix quite a bit of the water, though, so it's not, like, dripping down underneath. And, yeah, made it a little better. We got 3 or 4 little water areas over here. The desert that kind of juts up against it, I fixed it a little bit. I didn't fix a lot of it because, again, it's not grasslands. I wasn't too worried. And as we go over here, you can see a little bit more. A lot of this, in comparing old photos, as I'll flash up here on screen again, was just hell. This right here, this particular spot right in front of me, this was a huge church-looking thing that I showcased in my first video talking about it. And it wasn't terrible. It was a pain to get rid of. I actually had to play the game and progress enough to unlock the spring shoes or spring boots, so it made jumping easier. This area could look a little bit better, as, you know, it definitely, you can tell that I placed it. It just looks kind of crappy and, like, definitely flat. I didn't bother with this section right here because it juts right up against the desert, so I left it alone. But we do have some trees that grow underground for some reason. So instead of elevating the dirt up above so they could pop out the top, I just left them. Have a little flavor for the underground. And then this was the area I was talking about, how I, you know, redid it just a little bit to add a little bit more of the natural flair to it. Had a lot of bases going into the dirt, and if you look over there, back behind my tail towards the back of it, somebody had leveled out that area over there, most likely to make a base at some point. There was a base on top of this hill here, but I went ahead and wiped it out. So, you know, a better view. Still some dirt and stuff up there, but I'm not too worried about it. And then, yeah, I redid that pool. I had to do some finagling to make that work, just because it was not a good thing. Water was going everywhere. It was breaking down the side. I had to rebuild below and then do a little bit extra work. And there's a hole that I missed over there. Well, we'll just chalk that up to just missing it. I didn't even see it. Down here used to be 2 large bases. That's the whole reason why it's all, you know, just stone down here. I covered up a little bit of it with dirt, but they had a whole walkway through going down towards that green drop over there, and then going backwards that way towards the magic forest. And then under there, in that chasm underneath, they had a whole nother base back there with a bunch of other stuff. And it was a huge problem to excavate all that and then just get rid of it. I filled in a lot of these holes down here, and it looks like I need to kill off all those Phiomias down there. But yeah. And then, you know, got this water spot. I fixed that up. And then not really much else. The spawn land has been rebuilt. It looks, to me, it looks brand new. I'm happy to, you know, have done this, to give new players a, you know, how about that kind of thing, you know, be able to do something with their world. It's pretty cool. I like it, and I'm just gonna leave it alone. This is now free for anyone to do whatever they want with. But I may go through and actually do something else. I may have a phase 2 plan to change something else up. You'll have to see in the coming videos. Now I'm going to have to take this and edit all of this out and delete the audio, so I myself know what I said, and you'll never know. That way I can take this and use it as part of the script. Alright. And with that, have a blast.